Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Game Week 32 of Premier League predictions. Last game week, it's been like 3 weeks at this point, I only got 1 point. One of my worst weeks since I've been doing this, taking me to a total of 148 points. I have failed this season. I'm getting way less than last season, but we always have next year. So let's move on. It's been a while since these teams have played in the Prem, so I can't really talk about those last games that happened. So I'll try my best to come up with a scoreline based on such little football that these teams have played, well, at least in the league. We're going to kick this week off with West Ham versus Wolves. So West Ham first up, they are still in the relegation zone. They managed to, lose last week or last game week. I expected them to win. They are playing pretty good, but they just can't seem to get their wins. They also got knocked out the FA Cup to Leeds. Technically, it was a draw, but they ended up losing in pens. But the record against Wolves is pretty good when they are hosting them. They have won 5 out of their last 5 encounters. But one big thing for West Ham is they're missing Somerville. And I think Somerville, ever since Nuno has taken charge, he has been one of their better players. As for Wolves, they were in great form before this big break we just took. They are becoming a pothole for teams, meaning they are just a roadblock. You know, they're taking points a lot from bigger teams, and they are scoring a bit more as of late. But one team is fighting for something, the other one is not. I think West Ham will be winning this one, but not very comfortably. I'm going for a 2-1 win to West Ham. Classic 2-1. Next up, we have Arsenal versus Bournemouth. First up, Arsenal. Now, Arsenal are in a weird spot right now. They are starting to lose a little bit of confidence. They got knocked out of the FA Cup, knocked out of the Carabao Cup, but they did beat Sporting yesterday, 1-0, barely beat them. So they're not in a great spot. But when they do host Bournemouth at the Emirates, they have won 7 out of their 8 last games. Let me say that again. They won 7 out of their last 8 games at the Emirates against Bournemouth. But that one game that they didn't win, they drew, or I think Bournemouth won, I forget what it was the most recent game. As for Bournemouth, they are drawing a lot. They have 5 draws in a row in the Prem, and they are truly not fighting for anything. I think they are not getting Europe, and they're certainly not relegating. But they have not lost since the beginning of the year, so they only have 1 loss in 2026. But for this matchup, the scoreline, maybe I'm a hater, maybe I'm coping here, but I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Bournemouth love their draws as of late. Arsenal are not moving me. They aren't confident in themselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm coping, but I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we have Brentford versus Everton. Brentford, they have 4 draws in a row, so their form isn't as good as it once was, especially at home. They aren't picking up many points at home, which was their strength at the beginning of the year. And they are also fighting for Europe. They are in 7th at the moment, and they're facing 8th Everton, who is of course also fighting for Europe. And Everton is currently, in terms of picking up points, the 4th best in the league. That is away from home. And Everton games are usually low scoring, and also Everton tend to have low conceding numbers and low scoring numbers. There isn't many goals in Everton games. Now this one was kind of tough. I didn't know which way to go. They're both fighting for the same thing. It is at Brentford, but Brentford at home aren't the best at the moment. Everton have been picking up majority of their points away from home, so maybe a surprise here, but I'm going for a 2-0 win to Everton. Next up, we have Burnley versus Brighton. Burnley aren't fighting for much. They are pretty much done for the season. They are playing well, but they just aren't picking up wins. They've only won twice since the start of the year, and one of them was in, I think, the FA Cup or Carabao Cup, I forget. As for Brighton, they have won 4 out of their last 5 games. They are also another team still fighting for Europe. There's about 7 of them still fighting for that last Europa League spot or Conference League spot. They will be missing Dunk for this game. I think, was it a suspension? I don't remember but what I saw, but Dunk is going to be missing this game. And also, last note for Brighton, their away form isn't that great. So taking that all into consideration, I still think Brighton's going to win. I think Burnley they can't get over the line. Brighton are in pretty good form, or they were in good form before the long break. They're fighting for something. They actually want to win this one. Burnley are just there because they need to play. but I still think Burnley's going to give them a good game. I'm going for a 2-1 win to Brighton. Next up, we have Liverpool versus Fulham. Liverpool, they are struggling. They lost 4-0 to us. They tied to Spurs, so terrible results there for them. They are in a dark place at the moment, and the real light or only glimpse of light for them is Ekitike and Wirtz, in my opinion. I know Szoboszlai has been getting bigged up, but I think he's overhyped. You know it's bad when you're overhyping Szoboszlai. In no world should he be in contention for player of the season. Please stop it. As for Fulham, they are inconsistent, can't seem to get a streak of wins going, or even losses or draws. They just do whatever. Kind of hard to predict them as well. They are still fighting for Europe, so another team in that upper mid-table sort of range. And last thing for Fulham, they have given Liverpool a pretty hard time as of late at Anfield. They've won once, drawn once. In another 2 games that Liverpool won, they struggled in. It was 4-3 in one of them and then 1-0 in the other one. So Liverpool do not like hosting Fulham. And Liverpool also have to play PSG before this game. So that's going to take a toll on their team as well. So with all that, I think Fulham can get something here, especially with Liverpool's form. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Next up is Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Crystal Palace, in my opinion, have been improving. They've been having low-scoring games, but they have been improving. They will be playing conference before this game, so we take that into consideration. And their home form isn't great this season. They've only won 3 out of 15 games at home in the Prem. As for Newcastle, they just can't seem to get things right. They lost to Barcelona in nasty fashion. I mean, what was it, 7-2? Then they lost to Sunderland. I expected them to win. Bruno could be missing this game as well. We still don't know. In the recent form at Selhurst Park, they have drawn 3 out of their last 5. So they don't pick up many points here either. But Newcastle can still get Europe. And I think, the owners, they're going to want Europe. The amount of money they have spent, they want Europe. But for some reason, I think this is going to be another sort of a blip for Newcastle. Maybe I'm crazy because Crystal Palace, every time they play in Europe, they actually can't win the next Prem game. They usually don't. They struggle. But I'm going for it. Their first win, they're going to win. I'm pretty sure that's true, but I'm doing it again. I think Crystal Palace are going to beat Newcastle. I have to start throwing curveballs. I have to because I need to make up points. And this is one of them. So 2-1 to Crystal. Next up is Sunderland versus Spurs. Sunderland, they are having a lot of low-scoring games. Their form isn't great, even though they did win their most recent game against Newcastle, but that was probably more because of the occasion of the event than anything. And they are another team that can still get Europe. As for Spurs, they are in crisis mode. They are fighting for their lives. It's ridiculous at this point. De Zerbi is now at the wheel. He's in. We don't know how that's going to work because De Zerbi has a hot head. That can end up being a terrible appointment within 3 games. Mixed form away from home. I think they have 5 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses away from home. But they haven't won in the league this year. Since the turn of the year, they haven't won, which I think is around probably 10, 11-ish, 12-ish games. So yeah, Spurs, we all know where Spurs is at. Sunderland isn't as good as they were before. But for this matchup, I know I said that Sunderland usually have low-scoring games, but because Spurs is here, everything switches. Logic switches around. The Spursy rule, or whatever the hell it's called, it's real. So I see goals here, especially with De Zerbi being here. Sunderland is gonna think they're gonna be able to beat Spurs, right? Get some points here. They're gonna go for it. I think De Zerbi's gonna go for it. I'm going for a high-scoring game here of 3-2 to Sunderland. And then we can all laugh at Spurs a bit more. Next up, we have Forest versus Aston Villa. Forest, they are another team that are fighting for their lives. They are improving, in my opinion. I do like the look of them, right? It's a lot more attacking, a lot more... I think Gibbs White and Anderson are shining more under Victor Pereira. They are also playing Europe before this game against Villa, so that's going to take a toll on their team. And their home form isn't that great. They are struggling at home, which is going to be at Forest Stadium. As for Villa, they are also playing in Europe before this game, so they're kind of in an equal playing field. They don't draw often. There's usually a winner in their games. Tielemans is back. That's a big one. I think this is his first game back for Villa. And they also have mixed results away from home. Now this one's kind of tough. Forest want to stay in the league, right? They want to stay up. They want to go for it, but their home form isn't helping them, isn't looking good for them. Villa away from home, you don't know what you're gonna get from them. Tielemans is back, that's a big plus. Villa also just beat West Ham in their most recent Prem game, who is another team who is, in that relegation battle. I can see Villa doing a back-to-back win against relegation fighting teams. So I'm going for a Villa win here. Low scoring though, 1-0 to Villa. Next up we have Chelsea versus City, probably the game of the week. Chelsea, they are in bad form. They struggled against PSG, they struggled against Everton. There was one more team in there that they struggled against. They have a couple starters missing. Enzo, he got banned for some reason. Rosinha, I think, took him out the squad or something. I don't know, but he's not available. James, I think, could be missing, and then Colwell, and then I think there was one more. Those are starters, so good news for us. And they also don't like hosting City. They haven't won in their last 5 against City at Stamford Bridge. As for City, they had 2 good back-to-back games, beating, I guess, their biggest rivals in this era, Arsenal, and then Liverpool. We have won 4 out of our last 5 games at Stamford Bridge, and we also have no huge injuries, so meaning we should be playing the same team. We just won against Liverpool or Arsenal, right? It seems to be working. Why change it? So I think we're going to go for that. And we should be winning this one, but for some reason, I'm always scared, and I always go for a 2-1 win to City, which is what I'm going for this week as well. If I go back and check all my City predictions, it's probably 2-1 to City for like 25 game weeks. So yeah, 2-1. And then United versus Leeds is our last game. United first, they are dropping off a little bit in form, but they are basically guaranteed top 5. I don't think they need to worry, but they're still going to try here because they need to solidify it. And I think Maguire is missing here, and Sesko potentially. That's what I saw. As for Leeds, they are struggling to score. They did manage to get 2 on West Ham, but besides that game, they are struggling to score. They still need a couple points to guarantee not to relegate, right? Because they are like within 4 points or 3 points of relegation zone, so they're still in there. And Leeds away from home is terrible. They are a terrible team away from home. So I do see United winning this one, even with Maguire missing or Sesko. They should have enough to beat Leeds at home. Leeds aren't great. Well, other than that West Ham game. That West Ham game was crazy. But United should win at Old Trafford. I'm going for a 2-0 win to United. Those are my predictions for Game Week 32. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace.